What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and one of the things over here on this channel that I do like to talk about is anime localization, adaptations, things of that nature. And it was about late last year when this story really started sparking up. Obviously I have a lot of videos on this exact topic, but localizers got really mad. They got mad at the idea being replaced by AI. Localizers upset over the Ancient Magus Bride manga's AI translation. Since the story originally came out, there's actually been several different companies coming out here saying that, hey, we're going to start using AI to translate this. Even in regards to anime localization and how they're going to be doing subtitles, a lot of companies have been saying they're going to start using AI because, one, it's cheaper, obviously, and honestly, number two, it's a lot more reliable for proper translations than a lot of localizers here in the West. Now, there are decent localizers here in the West that do really good work, but the amount of really awful ones kind of outweigh the amount of really good ones. And this story recently sparked back up after this announcement. Shimoneta publisher Shogakukan to use AI translation for new light novel reading app Novelist, which I gotta be honest, again, there's two frames of thoughts here. One, it does work out the actual good localizers. It makes the good localizers have to work a whole lot harder to actually be more desirable, makes localizing actually a little bit more pricier for localizers and the human worker. But at the same time, it gets the really garbage tier localizers out. So you don't really see a whole lot of anime fans, manga fans, and people like that actually coming out here to defend localizers over the several years of awful translations being committed by these localizers. So when we get the next step of the story, English localizers furious over Japanese publisher Shogakukan decision to use AI translations for light novels, you don't really see a lot of fans crying over this. That's right. So as it goes down, they're going to be using AI translation to help translate the novels from Japanese over to English. That way people can read it a whole lot faster. Simul streaming essentially for manga. There's a lot of companies that are actually implementing this. I'm not opposed to the idea of AI coming in here and actually doing the translations. I am of the opinion that more than likely you're going to need a human there to make sure that it's grammatically correct in some areas, that it makes sense in some regards. Like, it's not going to be perfect outright. Like, if you think it's going to be perfect, it's not. You're going to need somebody just to be able to fix up the English a little bit to make sure that it makes sense and flows nicely. So you will need a good localizer here or there in the meantime to help try to get this out. But the people that are freaking out aren't the good localizers. The good localizers always know that their jobs are going to be safe. It's the garbage tier localizers that like to make changes that are coming out and making a hissy fit over this whole situation. You know, we start scrolling down here and we see the first one. When there are errors in the front and center marketing, I dread to think of what the bulk of it's going to turn out like. This is what disrespect for the medium and your audience looks like. But hey, I'm sure Mantra's shareholders are happy. Yes, Mantra is the particular AI translation software that they're using. And I'm looking at this. I don't see anything that bad so far. I don't see that bad of a AI translation so far. It looks pretty good in my opinion. But you see more of these people have to freak out because their jobs are on the line right now. But you see Frakun, not Shokugan, devaluing one of the most popular franchises by MTLing the free-written novel. Fans would pay up for a proper print version, not a Google Translate on an app that they could have done themselves. Actually, I'm willing to bet fans would just pay for the app. I use Shonen Jump. Okay, I love the Shonen Jump app. I use it weekly, honestly. Every week there's a new manga. I have a bunch of manga I'm reading through, one of which is Kaiju number 8, Chainsaw Man, News Exorcist. One's called Showa Newell. I can't remember that. I also get Black Clover over there, and that's quarterly right now, and I'm having to cope with that. I pay $1.99 a month for that app. If they made that app more expensive, I'd still pay for that app because I get access to my manga. I get access to reading this stuff. And the other fact is I pay for my manga to the best of my abilities. I love going out to my local comic shop, my local bookstores and stuff, and picking up manga almost like twice a month. A lot of these people that are freaking out, like the people that would be agreeing with them, pirate the manga as is. There's plenty of sites that you can go to just see the latest chapter for free. So yes, there's a lot of pirating going on. If they can't afford it, they're just going to go pirate it. That's the reality here. So yes, there would be several people that would pay top dollar for all this stuff, but a lot of them probably aren't. A lot of the people that agree with you probably aren't. But you see this one. This is kind of a minor thing relative to the problem of MTL is inaccurate, but this kind of service is also just strictly worse than piracy. Even if you only consider the business side of things, the idea is still flawed. How is it worse than piracy? Like, legitimately, how is it worse than piracy? Oh, because they're going around you. All the people that agree with you basically support piracy, and they pirate more often than not. But how is this worse than piracy? That logic doesn't make sense. It's coming from the original source. They're just translating it and putting it out there. I do think it's going to be flawed. I do think there's going to be tons of issues, but this is one step to getting around the localization issue. Now you just need to figure out how to make more of the mannerisms correct, more of the dialogue make more sense, and things like that, and you wouldn't have to have a big problem, now would you? Oh, but because your guys' jobs are on the line, you're freaking out. Oh, but don't worry, guys. There's tons more. Oh, you get this one. Oh, you can see in their name even. They them support Black trans liberation. Oh my lord. Just this June, Shogakukan announced that it was one of the fund providers for Tokyo-based AI startup Mantra, which is focused on the AI translation of Japanese manga. These companies know manga make money. Greed drives them for more profit in their pockets, not quality. Well, let's be real fair here. A lot of you guys don't give them good quality. Yes, they're doing it for financial reasonings because you guys make garbage tier quality. You bastardize their works. Then you boast about your bastardized works and you upset the fans. Fans want not one-to-one, but as accurate as humanly possible translations that make logical sense. And if they can go subvert you guys, they make more money and fans could potentially be more happy. Interesting how that all works. But she continues. It is fundamentally unfathomable to me that these corporations think it is acceptable to have stories written by humans to go through MTL. MTL, that which can't grasp the fine details of the words crafted through human endeavor. MTL of human art is a spit in all our faces. Maybe if you guys would have done good work, more people would be coming out here defending you guys. I'm sorry. You're not gonna see me like shed any tears over this. I'm asking you all, the readers, the audience, and the English-speaking sphere who are against AI and MTL to drive the Shokugan app down to the rock bottom and into the negatives. Make them regret their decision to disrespect human art. They want to subvert us. They want to go around us and give the product directly to the customers. That was probably going to be more superior than what we could do. That's not going to be filled with our agenda and our politics, and we don't have to bastardize anymore. That's all I see right here. And again, if you guys did good work for the past 8+ years, you would have more people coming out here to defend you and say that this is a bad way of going about it. You wouldn't have people basically saying, oh, we don't really care. You would have people being willing to defend you in all this, but we have 8+ years. And this is just some. This is just some of the stuff, guys. This isn't even all of it. You know how bad this stuff gets? Oh, but it continues on because my favorite person out there, Katrina Ladowski. Oh, my dear friend. Translator in the credits. Oh, look how wonderful she is. Look how virtuous she is. I have a video. I've talked about this bit a lot and I have more examples of this bit, but well, at least they were honest. They only care about cutting costs, not about getting readers good translations. Well, you don't give us good translations. Do you think the authors of the light novels would want their international fans reading garbled versions of the prose they worked so hard on? How disrespectful. Well, I mean, you've bragged about deliberately botching English subtitles, English translations all the time. So I understand why you're crying, because you are going to be one of the people that is out of a job. You famously boasted how wonderful it is that you got away with it and how you're not sorry that any of this went down. Right here, I'm not sorry for what I did in Anuki Kai. I get it. You're going to be one of the people out of a job. Don't get me wrong, like any tool, machine translation and AI have their uses, but you don't use jackhammer to nail a painting to the wall. Oh, I might, just to piss you off, I might. MTAI isn't smart or nuanced enough to craft translations that audiences want to read and pay for. Well, you can't do that either. You see the problem here? She's trying to justify her job, but she's one of the prime candidates for bastardizing work, for going around boasting about bastardizing work. And she's scared of losing her job right now because she knows she's one of the people on the chopping block if this becomes super popular and actually works really well. You're going to be one of the ones that go bye-bye. And we're not going to be out here defending you. Here's the thing about light novels. Because the original text is often available online, Shoujo Toxica, Nia Naro, etc., lots of fan translation groups already publish machine translations of them for free online, so you're giving international fans what they already have. Oh, so just because fan subgroups do it, the company shouldn't be able to make money off of fan subs already doing it. I mean, fan subs already do this, guys. Okay, so then the fans should get paid for it. If fans are willing to put in the work, make the translations via the AI, make it good, nuanced, proper, have all that things, and the company goes like, you know what, you guys are doing a better job than these localizers that we're paying an arm and a leg for. Why don't we just, buy what you guys are doing? You guys make money off of it, and we can go out and translate it ourselves. Makes sense. That's called capitalism. I know you don't like capitalism, Katrina. You're probably one of the people freaking out right now and want your job to be protected, but you're not going to see me crying over you losing a job. But these companies don't care about that. They don't care about their authors, their customers, or the work they're ruining with machine translation. In the end, all they care about is money! Well, you do too, but again, Katrina, if you did a good job, you'd still have a job. You wouldn't be one of the people freaking out right now. You'd be secure in what you do. And all you're doing right here is showing why nobody should be hiring you and why the AI translation is coming in. Why people are going to fan subs. Why people are okay with AI translation. Because they don't like you. They don't like what you've done to the industry. They think you are one of the worst people in the industry. But hey, keep crying. It's not like we have tons of evidence of you specifically boasting about bastardizing product. Fortunately, the English manga localization scene is still dedicated to hiring human translators, editors, and letters to produce high-quality localization. And now we've got an awards ceremony to recognize the humans that bring authors' work into English with love and respect. Well, yes, right now you do. But the reason a lot of you guys have a job is through this very, very garbage system in which, because there is nuance within languages and stuff that don't really translate very well for one-one adaptations, you guys have a job. You guys have to put into all these contracts in order to get your localizing deals that, well, because we need to make these alterations, we need to have the ability to have kind of like free control over some of the dialogue. With this ability, they are now going in there and they are bastardizing works. I've already shown you the 8+ years. That's why Ludowski over here is freaking out, because she's like, well, right now, all the contracts have it in their system that we have this way to get through because of the nuance and stuff, and we're boasting our power and everything. But with AI becoming more prevalent, AI becoming more of an adopted system over in Japan, they won't need to use these translations anymore. With the advent of the internet, with the advent of all this stuff, they don't need you anymore. Once the AI translation gets good enough, you won't need to have you as localizers anymore. All they'll need to go out and do is say, hey, we need a few voice actors. And again, with the prevalence of the internet, somebody like me could go work on an anime and be a voice actor for them. Simple enough to do. Wouldn't have a big problem with it either. But Ludowski is a part of the established class. All these people are a part of the established class, the credentialed class, as it would be. The people that are approved to translate, have done this for years. They're the people with all the power. But now they're seeing their power being ripped away from them. That's why she has to say, at least in the English manga localization scene, we're getting awards now for all the work we do. We're being praised for all the work we do amongst the established class. where fans look at you and say, you guys have been bastardizing work for years. You guys have been treating work like it's your own personal playground, like you guys can do anything because of these loopholes within these contracts that have to be here. That's the saddest part about this. And half these localizations, I've gone over several of these. It doesn't make sense. The localizations are horrid. And for dialogue boxes, for example, they've used the argument, well, we need to make everything fit into the dialogue box. Well, in some translations, you have the dialogue box, the translation that they give us, which is awful, is smaller than the space that they originally used. You're seeing tons of issues with this. It's always an issue, and they're always coming out here crying, saying that their jobs are on the line, because they are. They recognize they do awful work. They recognize the actual community and the audience doesn't like what they do, and when they get called out, it's even worse, because this is an industry based on trust. If you're lying to the audience and they find out, it starts hurting them. Japan's starting to recognize that. Japan is hating what you guys are doing. That's why they're going with the AI route. If AI takes off the way that it looks like it's about to be taking off, you guys will be out of a job. And all the fans that you're saying like you right now, they're not going to shed a tear, because nobody's shedding a tear over you. Nobody cares about Gila Ladowski. Not one. And here's just a myriad of different localizers boasting about how proud they are. And I always love this one. This is my favorite one to always point out. The true joy of localization really is seeing what you can get away with. That's what they've always been about. That's what Ladowski's about. That's what all these people have been about. And that's why they're so freaking out about AI translations. Oh my God, here's Ladowski. I've actually never noticed that she's on this list as well. I know I'm opening a huge can of worms, but here goes. As translators, what is the right way to handle offensive content? Who determines what gets left in and what gets censored? A long thread about translation theory, ethics, and localization, and capitalism. She knows, all of these people here, Ladowski included, know that they are the people on the chopping blocks if the AI becomes perfect. They won't be needed anymore. They will be the first ones to head out the door. And some of the really good translators, some of the really good localizers, the ones that you don't hear about, they'll have a safe job, probably helping correct the AI translations, probably helping to fix them here or there, because they do good work as it is, and they don't go around boasting about how many times they censor work and how they get the joy out of it. And the funniest part is, nobody's going to be crying over you guys losing a job to AI. You're irrelevant at this point. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.